I don't know if there's some kind of a problem tonight. There might be. This is the third time that I'm trying. I am trying. I don't know if the notification is coming up for anybody, and it's awfully late at this point. It's really just about 10 o'clock my time, so I'm not sure what's going to happen at this point. I did try. I really did. I don't know if I'm on, if I'm not on. I have no idea. I'm just trying to let people know. Okay, there's still nobody here. There's something definitely wrong tonight. It's not working. Just not happening. It's really not. I'm sorry, guys. I really gave it a good college try. Not meant to be for tonight. It's just not. I'm in a lot of pain tonight, actually. I'm sitting here all by myself talking to myself, and it says I'm live, but it doesn't look like I'm live. So I don't know what's going on, guys. Okay. Oh, is somebody here now? I was just about to close this thing down because there's something really strange going on today. I'm showing it at just 3 minutes now, and this is the third try tonight to get on, so I don't know what is going on. It's showing me as live at my end, but apparently there were issues at the other end, so I have no idea. So who's with me? There's one stalwart soul with me. Who made it through? Is there no chat box? Let me see. It says welcome to chat. I don't know. I don't know. It looks like I'm having a serious issue tonight for some crazy reason that I do not fathom at all. Oh, now it's showing 3 people on. So maybe it actually went through this third try. 4. Okay, so it's looking a little bit better, as if we have some hope of having people here. Is the chat working for you? Because nobody said hello yet. I have no idea. There's something a little screwy tonight because this is my third try, and the first time it just froze. Well, hello. Okay. Hi, Jody. So somebody made it through. I have no idea what went wrong tonight. I've tried it with both phones. I reset the router. I did everything. And I finally said, maybe it's just not meant to be for tonight. So here I am. If you can get through, and I don't even know if you can. I did get some messages from people who told me they couldn't get through, that they were having a problem and they couldn't get any messages. They couldn't interact on chat. Oh, for heaven's sakes. Just bear with me for a minute. I'm not seeing any chat messages, so I'm thinking that we still have an issue. I don't know if it pays for me to keep trying to make this thing happen tonight or whether to, oh, okay, sis. Oh, I'm glad that you were able to get through. This is the third try tonight. I've been having a tremendous issue with something. Okay. Oh, okay. I just don't understand it. I really don't. I've tried hard. Okay, somebody left. So somebody was frustrated by not being able to get through, I'm guessing. I don't know what the story is for some people tonight. Today actually was not my best day. I had my physical therapy session. Oh, good, good, sis. I'm glad. I had my physical therapy session. It was the second one, and I just was not comfortable. I really was not comfortable. There is something, I have this pit of my stomach feeling that I'm in the wrong situation there. I need to really talk to people in my office and see if anybody knows anybody that they were really happy with, because I feel as if I'm just not getting what I need. And today he didn't do the exercises with me. He gave it to someone else to do. And you know when somebody, it's like when you ask a kid to do homework and they do it, but they do it in the most perfunctory way just to get it over with. They don't care about it. There's no passion in it. It's not done to learn anything, to accomplish anything, just to get it over with. That's how I felt about my session today. And then when the exercises were over, he was working on my muscle in my leg to try to loosen it up. And I had a lot of pain, and I've been in a lot of pain all day with my leg. Maybe it's normal. Maybe he did loosen it up some. I don't know. But it's really aching me all day today, quite a lot. So I don't know, I don't know what to make of it. I really think I need to explore another option. I have no framework. I have no um, I have no way to judge what it's like for outpatient physical therapy because I've never had it before. Wait a second. Somebody's trying to notify me. Wasn't any place to comment. Yeah, people are telling me that the chat is not coming up. There are 9 thumbs up? No, there are not. There's only one. I don't understand it. Just can't see you can't see the, is there anything that I can do to change it? I don't know what's, no. I don't know why. I'm seeing live chat. A connection is needed for physical therapy. The first session with time, okay. I don't know if this guy is the right guy for me. I'm just not sure. When I was working with the young man in the rehab place, he was so wonderful. Yeah, I see your chat is fine. I don't know why. You know what I'm wondering? I'm wondering if everybody else is on the old one. Just bear with me for a minute. Just give me 1 second. Okay, let's see if this makes any difference. Yeah, there was something that just was totally screwy tonight. So I'm thinking that people maybe made it into the first or second try, but it froze on my end and it didn't let me do anything. I had to actually reboot the phone in order to even get rid of it because it wouldn't let me end it. It was just totally frozen at my end. Now you lost the audio? You have no audio? Oh, good grief. I wonder if my issue tonight then is simply a router issue. Comments were disabled. Wow. No chat. You know something? The audio is back on. You know, I wonder if it makes any, I don't know what to do. I don't know whether to just stay on here or try to end this and start fresh and see what happens at that point. Because obviously most of the people must have come on to one of the earlier ones. I'm just getting messages that they could not.
Hi, I'm Dr. Stephen Gundry.
They could
and
not
I'm going to shatter every myth that you thought you knew about
Okay.
what concept.
Just bear with me for a minute.
It's less expensive lunchtime. They have specials, and it's a little bit pricey in the evening.
Oh, that's the old one. Okay. Yeah, because I'm at 11 minutes now, and this has never happened before, where there are just very, very few people in. And it just may be that the other people here are people who just happened by. I have no idea. I don't know why there's the issue tonight with having the chat work for most people. Yeah, Jody, you're not having a problem. You've had good and poor. Yeah, I find there's something missing with this guy. Don't get me wrong, he's a nice guy. Yeah, I know it really is strange. You've had good and poor. I have been so lucky before this with the physical therapist I had. The one that I had in the hospital was great. The one that I had in both rehabs were great. The problem with this one, I don't see there's no enthusiasm in terms of what he thinks I can accomplish. I've said to him several times, my goal is to get back as much as I possibly can and to really work this and to really just do as much as I possibly can to get me back. And he's just very lackadaisical about it. Today, the exercises they gave me felt as if he said, okay, do this 20 times, do this 10 times, do this. He wasn't even watching me to do it. He didn't do it himself today. He had this young man do it today. Yeah, I think so. I think so. Yeah, exactly. It does not sit right with me. And he told me that I probably would only be able to have it for twice a week between 2 and 3 months. That's not a lot. That's 8 to 10 sessions, maybe 8 to 12 sessions. That's not a lot. So I have to make the most of them. I've already had 2. So that means what? I might have 10 left. I might have 8 left. I have to maximize what they do for me because apparently Medicare will only pay for that amount for the year. Had I known that, I would have started at the end of the year, so I would have gotten a whole chunk of them in at the end of the year and then started fresh for the new year. So I would have gotten more out of it, but I didn't know what the situation was. So I want somebody who's going to work me. I want somebody who's going to work me and give me things to do that I need to build the strength in that muscle. And they know the things that are going to do that. I don't want to injure myself. But at the same time, I really want to get as far as I can. One of my biggest issues is my inability to walk steps, 1 foot on each step. I have to put 1 foot up on a step and then bring the other foot up to the same step and then onto the next and onto the next, whether going up or down. I don't want to do that. I mean, it's okay for now, but I want to get back to the way a normal person walks. So if there's any way to do that, that's my goal. I really, as I say, I want me back. I do. And I was really hurting today. When he started to work on the muscle, Carol, I have no idea. I tried to get on 3 separate times tonight. The first time it totally froze on me. The second time I reset the router and I did it again, and that was a no-go. And I had to come on a third time. I was about to give up tonight altogether. I was about to just call it a day and say, well, you know, it was a mistake and there was some kind of an issue going on tonight. But a few people came in, so it gave me the encouragement to hang in. And I'm hoping it makes a difference now and that a few more of you can come in and join. But as I say, what I was saying is I'm really concerned about the physical therapy. I want to make the most of it. I really want to make the most of it. I know there's a difference. It didn't give you an option to chat. It didn't let me stay on it at all in the old one. Did you come back on, Carol, or did you just hang in and suddenly it gave you the option to chat? Because I think it was a totally separate video that just, for some reason, I don't think people got notification about this one. Yes, which? Did it suddenly come on for you? Or did you have to get off the first one? It came back? Or you or you came back? I really am having a problem today. This is not normal for me. Well, whatever it is, at least it's working for now. You did. Oh, you came back. Okay. Yeah, I wish I could get through to everybody and let them know. I certainly have tried, but it's just not working. So I have to accept that the universe is doing its own thing and I have little control over it right at the moment. It was really cold here today. I just cannot stand winter. And as I say, I shouldn't complain because the ground is still dry. I'm very concerned about snow because I cannot find my boots. I have one of two separate pairs of boots. I don't even know if one is a right foot boot and one is a left, or if they're two of either. So I need to find boots just in case just in case. I mean, it's bound to snow. The question is when and how much. So I want to I want to be able to function. I want to be able to do everything I need to do. Um, Today I went out. I decided, I think I mentioned last week, that I really, really enjoyed some of those salads that I bought. So I went back into the store today, which, by the way, was mobbed. So I'm thinking it might be because they did say, the meteorologist did say that there could be snow tomorrow. There could be between 1 and 3 inches unless the storm veers off by 50 miles or so, in which case we could have more accumulation. And anytime there is any threat of snow, people shop as if they're not going to get out for the winter. So, but I did pick up a couple of salads. I love that spinach salad with the fruit. It's absolutely wonderful. And the other one was that salad niçoise that I got with the egg and the walnuts and what else did it have? I mean, all the greens and all of that. So it was really good. It's supposed to snow there, or is it cold there? It's just, I can't complain. It is, I know you're absolutely right. Time is of the essence with the physical therapy. I really absolutely have to have somebody who motivates me. Yes. Yeah, and I said to him again today, this is the second time I said, don't you have any homework for me? And he said, not yet. He said, as we get farther along into it, I will. What? I mean, everybody else has had. Yeah, the salads are really good, and I believe that they are healthy. So it's something that I can do for myself that might be a positive. And again, my chopped salads are good, but I had such a fiasco with my attempt in making the chopped salad in my little pull my little pull chopper that I adore, because I put a whole tomato in instead of half tomato. And what I'm going to do the next time is I am going to put in the greens and maybe some red onion, which I didn't have this time. And I will chop that up the next time. And then I'll take more greens and the tomato and chop that up so that a lot of it will be much drier, because tomato makes it very wet. It was really funny. I made salsa. You're absolutely right. It just cracked me up. It happened to taste good. Hi, Michelle. You hated therapy? Did the exercises at home? I actually loved my physical therapy when I worked with the good therapists. It gave me motivation. It really helped me enormously. It really did. But my leg is killing me today. And what he did when he was working on, he said that my muscles were very tight, and I believe that they are. He was working on it, but the way he was working on it, hi Tink, glad you made it over to this thing that turned out to be live. When he was working on it, the way he was working his fingers into the thing, it was so painful at some points, because I guess there were little knobs of muscle or whatever it was. It's been hurting me all day long. It's just hurting and burning and sore. I'm just feeling plain sore. So there's not a whole, there are 10 here now. Yes, I'm showing 12, and I'm showing, yeah. Yes, yeah, I'm so happy that I was able to do it, because it took 3 tries, and it was very, very frustrating at this end, because it kept telling me I was on, but nothing was happening. And oh, somebody left. Okay. So yeah, I definitely have to get to work on this. I will. I love the guy that I had the last, because he kept challenging me to do more and more, and he kept saying to me, "You can do this. I know you can." You expected a spa experience? Oh, yes, it did, Carol. I just don't know. I mean, for me, I love the physical therapy. I do. I love challenging myself. I want me back, and I'll fight for it. The salads are great. I am getting my protein. I really am. I am having chicken. I'm having fish. I'm having the day at Mayo. Yeah. What else did I have? I think there's a hard-boiled egg in one of the salads, and there's a scoop of tuna. I've been having chicken, fish, tuna salad. I did have some deli meat, but I think it might be a little too old at this point, so I'll have to check that out. And I need to buy more cheese, so at least I have cheese in the house. I do have cottage cheese doubles, so I can have that. And there's always something that I can make, so I should be fine with that. Oh, and I bought couscous salad. They had the Mediterranean couscous salad, so I bought that. And I really like that a lot. And I feel as if I'm getting good, healthy alternatives. And I don't have any more chocolate in the house, so I should be okay with that. I came this close to buying those truffles. They were so unbelievably good that it was like a mouth-watering experience. It really was that good. But I convinced myself not to do it. So for now, I have not done it. In truth, it is sitting. I love nuts, unsalted peanuts, almonds. Oh, okay. Yeah, actually, right now I have unsalted cashews. Yeah, I have unsalted cashews, and I have walnuts in the house. So I've been having that as well. Um, I love walnuts, and walnuts are really healthy for you. So yeah, I have all of that. Oh, hi, Nona. It's nice to see you. Um, yeah, so I'm trying very, very hard within the framework of who I am, and I have my moments. I really do. That lemon meringue pie that I bought after major surgery takes a good year to regain it. Oh, okay. Because it's 6 months now. Literally, in 2 days, it will be 6 months. So, and I'm infinitely better than I was. Please God, keep it that way. I really am infinitely better than I was. So I am not going to complain. Is that in response to the amount of time, Carol, or is that something else? I just, it's hard to believe that that much time has gone by, isn't it? I really, it is very hard to believe. When I saw that picture of myself in that jumpsuit, oh, the lemon meringue pie. Oh, the lemon meringue pie has one little piece left. So I think, I don't know if it was in, yeah, I guess I am. I don't know if it was in 5 days that I did it, or it'll be 6 days that I did it. Thanks a lot. I um I tried to temper it a little bit, but I can't have it in the house because I love it too much. It is so delicious, and what makes the lemon meringue pie especially good is that it looks like this really fluffy thing, but the meringue is like I don't know if it is today, but it used to be like an egg white kind of thing. Yes, I'm good with the, yeah, do home exercises. I just need somebody to give me good direction. And so, when I was having the physical therapy at home, there was a guy who came in one day because my regular physical therapist was not on, she wasn't working that day. He was incredible. He was really incredible. He was testing out my limits and he was giving me things to build on it. And he was only here that one day, and she came the rest of the time. And what she gave me was the most basic stuff. It was horrible. She was a nice lady. I liked her a lot, but it did not give me anything to challenge my muscles, to get me to work them in a way that would really accelerate the process. And I said from day one, I'm willing to do the work. I really am. When my surgical oncologist made the decision to send me to an acute in hospital rehab, she did it because she felt that I could do the 3 hours of therapy a day. She really felt that I would be a good candidate for that because I had said to her, don't judge me by my age and don't make a decision based upon that don't write me off. I said, I'm going to come back and I need to come back in the very best way that I can, but I need to work at it. And as I say, I think I was my own worst enemy for a good part of this. And I would say to anybody else suffering from anything that challenges you, challenges your body, challenges your health, and takes time. Because I think a lot of us, and certainly me, I think a lot of us don't have the patience, and we feel like if uh, if we don't get better now, we'll never get better. We have to allow ourselves time, and that's something that I know now. And if anybody ever needed advice in the future, that's what I would tell them. Give yourself the time to heal. Let your body heal itself. You'll have a lot of progress with it if you do all the things that you're supposed to do. And, as long as you're headed in that kind of direction. But you need to not fight against time. And I fought it. I really fought it because my feeling was that if I was not getting better all the time, that there was something wrong with me and that I wasn't going to get better. Yes. Yeah, I love to play music. I love to play music in the background, and I have both my bows. Oh dear, Marla's in the old one. I just, I don't know how they get back onto this one. Marla? Marla? No. Marla, it's on in a new one, so if you can join us in the new one, try. Okay. Oh my God. You heard what I said. This stupid autocorrect wrote, it's Ant in a new one. Oh my Lord, I can't stand this. That should have said, it's on. Okay, sorry about that. I just didn't want anybody to miss it if they chose not to. So, where was I? Yeah, again, I think probably the thing that we can do is to, I mean, that will harm us the most is by fighting nature. You have to give nature a chance. It's really funny because in the early days when my brother, God bless him, was calling me every single day to make sure I was okay, he had said to me that he spoke to, I think she was the public health nurse, the head nurse for the whole area where he lives in Connecticut. And he told her my situation, and she told him from the start, she said, this is a long recuperation. This is not quick. It's not going to happen quickly. It's going to take a long time. He said the words, and I heard the words, but I did not. Okay, here we go. Okay. Okay. Did they use bands? I know. Forget it. It's taken care of. Let me see what I missed. Did they use bands for what? I'm not sure what that means, so you'll have to tell me, Jody. What he did today, I mean, look, my surgical oncologist had said from the start that there was a real likelihood that I would have to wear a brace for the rest of my life. That was a very frightening thing to contemplate for me. And the type of brace that they use for this kind of a thing is, as the physical therapist said to me when I saw him last, it's very invasive. It really is, because it's huge, it's awkward, it's very hard to do anything with that brace on. And then your muscles atrophy. And I said from the start, I said I had good muscle tone, and everybody said from the start I had good muscle tone. I didn't want to take my good muscles and let them atrophy because I was in a brace that was not letting me use the muscles. That was not going to happen if I had any control over it whatsoever. And I'm so grateful that I was given the gift of being able to do that. So I have been blessed many times over in so many ways. I just didn't see it in the beginning. Stretch and strengthening, yes. Well, he was doing the stretch, and yeah, that was hurting. The spot where I had the infection, oh, thank God, Carol, that it didn't. The spot where I had the infection is on the inner part of the thigh, right at the groin. And that's also where a good bit of the tumor was. And when that area gets pulled, it hurts. It really hurts. And as the physical therapist said to me today, he said, ouch is right. He said, it's okay to feel pain. It's just not okay to feel agony. He said, so as long as you're not feeling agony, I said, no, I'm feeling pain as if it's stretching, it's hurting. And I said, I have no complaint about any pain that's productive pain. I'll tolerate it. As long as I know it's productive, don't give me pain that's going to set me back, because that's the whole thing. When I was first in the hospital, oh, hi, Linda, I'm glad you made it over. When I was in the hospital, within the first few days, the nurses' aides who would lift my legs to put them back on the bed, they tore something. They tore something in the muscle. The pain was exquisite on the outer part of my thigh. The pain was absolutely horrible. And at that point, I could no longer move my leg. Before that, I was able to slide my leg to the right or the left on the bed. After that, I could not move it at all. And then they put me in that long brace, and they kept me in that brace, and they wouldn't let me off the bed without the brace on. I kept saying to them, take it off. Take it off. I can function. But nobody was listening to me until I got into the rehab, where that physical therapist looked at me walk from where I was standing with him to the wheelchair. Does it really? Yeah. But I wanted him to give me homework to do. I wanted him to give me things to do. He just didn't do it. Yeah, it was really terrible, Carol. It was a horrible, horrible experience. And, oh, but when he told me that I could do it, when he saw me walk to the wheelchair, he said to me, why are you wearing the brace? I said, because the doctor is afraid that my knee is going to buckle. He said, has it ever buckled? And I said, no. He said to me, you don't need the brace. He picked up the brace at that point, and there was a little receptacle in the back of the wheelchair. He stood it up in that receptacle, and that was the last time I wore it in there. Really? I had a right to refuse it? They wouldn't listen to me. They absolutely wouldn't listen to me. They said I had to have it and that it was going to make it better, but I just knew. You know, it's a funny thing. I always go back to my father, and I always remember my father saying many years ago, he said, nobody knows your body better than you do. And that is so true. You know what you're feeling. Nobody else does. And I could tell what was working and what felt better, and I could tell what wouldn't. Oh, really? That brace was, oh, it was horrible. And I kept saying to them, I said, and he would not let me bend over because of the surgery and the stitches, and exactly, because you live in your body. So because of the radiated skin and because of the plastic surgery and because of the flap and all of the complications, the plastic surgeon didn't let me bend or stretch. He wanted to make sure that that was, oh, Denise, hi, I'm glad you made it in. He was trying to make sure that that was healed before. So here I am with a brace that went from my thigh to my ankle that needed to be hooked up, and I couldn't do it. There was no way to do it. Oh, thanks. Oh, good. I'm glad, Kathy. I'm glad that it is. Hi, how are you? Good to see you here. So, yeah, it was just, it made me worse, and I was terrified. Hi, Jen. Thanks a lot. I was absolutely terrified that I was not going to have the muscles to work with if they got their way with that brace. And I kept saying to the doctor, you're asking me to give up what I have left. And where's Sandy? You're right. I mean, Sandy might be on her way to bed already, though, because look how late we are at this point. Oh, good night, Nona. Aw, take care. Thank you so much. Um, yeah, so it's been a long ride. It's been a bumpy road. I would certainly have voted for not getting the infection. I don't know if I mentioned to you yesterday when I was in the office earlier this week and I was talking to a couple of my friends there. They had mentioned another woman in the office who had had surgery, and she was in the same rehab that I was in where I got the infection. She got one too. She got an infection. She had to go back to the hospital and she required an additional surgery because of that infection that she got there. And my brother had tried. Oh, I think Sheila's tougher than I am. Sheila's my hero. She really is. I mean, I couldn't have done it without Sheila. I was in touch with Sheila a lot during the time that I was in the hospital, during the time that I was in rehab, and she really helped me enormously because she had experience that I had not had, and that's good to know. I pray to God I never need to know it again, but life is life, and we don't know the bends in the road ahead of us, so we can only hope that it's a straight walk to a good place. I'm not fully healed at all. Thank you so much. Yeah, we're tough broads, each in our own way. Um, yeah, it's like when people tell me that I'm brave or people tell me that look what I've done, I have to say to them, what choice did I have? I'm here, I'm alone. Do you remember how terrified I was when I first came home? The very first night when I was alone, I closed that door. Nobody else was coming in. I was walking with the walker the first night, and I I think that's a great idea. We'll have Pepe Le Pew there until I get to give him a good washing. Yeah, it's when you don't have an advocate, it's terrible. And to be in a nursing home or rehab facility that is really a nursing home in disguise, you absolutely have to have an advocate. You have to, because it makes all the difference in the world. The nursing staff is, forgive me, it is a joke. At least in the place that I was in, they are dispensers of medication. Now, I want to be fair. Hi. I want to be fair because in that group of very, very, well, hi from Sydney. Um, you really need to have the care that will help you to get better, not to be in a situation where when you call for help, there is no help. That's a very scary thing. I heard people screaming and crying out, and that nurses didn't even respond. There were times when they sat in the hall laughing and telling jokes, and people were yelling, "Help me, help me." I wanted to cry for them. And when I got to the point where I could walk, they would not allow me to walk unaided. And I forgot what they called the not the nurses, but the nurses' assistants. They would not allow me to walk without aid, and nobody would come to aid me. so they wouldn't let me walk. So the more that I had to stay in bed, and it's a very scary thing. It really is. Because the biggest issue was, those were the nurses that they had. Most of the nurses were not RNs, they were LPNs. And there was one in particular, beautiful girl, smiled and acted as if she was really there for you. The last couple of days that I was there, when I was really in trouble, was the first time that I felt that she got an inkling of what was going on and that something really serious was happening. But within the framework of it, as I started to say before, there were a couple of incredible nurses. There were a couple of nurses who were so caring and so trying to do the right thing. But essentially, they were dispensers of medication, period. That's what they were there for. And the rest of it, and in a place where it's cleanliness is so important in those places, lest you get an infection, they only allowed 2 showers a week in the rehab. When I was in the acute rehab, they allowed 3 showers a week, every other day. Here it was 2 a week, and the CNAs, who were the ones who helped you to shower, would try to make sure that at least one of those days you didn't have it, because they would make it impossible for you to get it. So if I was lucky, I got 1 shower a week. Now, mind you, I had a JP drain in. The drain needed attention. They were not giving it attention. They were not taking care of it. They were not stripping the line. I was doing it myself, but I didn't have the ability. It was like purgatory. It really was. And then when the infection was so bad that pus was oozing from it, forgive me, and I kept telling everybody who passed by, they kept telling me that they were monitoring it. No, forget about it. Denise, when my brother called the health department of the state of New York to report it. And within a couple of days, they told him there was no evidence that I had gotten the infection from that place. I had been in that place for 4 weeks. I had this little piece of the I had this little, what is it? I missed the end of the last comment. Horrible. Absolutely horrible. And again, you're advocates, but if there's no advocate there, you are at their mercy. When I begged them to let me go to the hospital because this thing was getting worse, I developed fevers, night sweats. I was sick. I was overall physically sick. They put me on antibiotics. They didn't even, your aunt is in a nursing home. God bless. God bless. I pray to God that I never have to be in a nursing home again. I really pray to God I don't, because the experience was horrific. Meredith got to see a tiny little bit of it the last day when she came to visit me, and it was just not good. When I asked to go, we do have to do, we really do. But the question is, how do we do it? Because once again, if they don't have somebody sitting there, my roommate had her son who came to visit her almost every day. If he didn't visit every day, he was on the phone with her every day. If there is any way not to let her be, don't let her be, because it could be the difference between life and death. It is a nightmare. It really is. And I want to be an advocate for people because I don't want anybody to ever go through what yes, yes. I don't want anybody to go through what I went through. If you have to be in, no, it is no way to live. If somebody goes in, if somebody has had a broken whatever, and they go in because they need the therapy and they need their medications and whatever, but they're not in any other physical danger, they don't have any other issues, it may be less dangerous. Although, I guess if you've had surgery, though, there's always the risk of infection. They did not assist us to, when I couldn't get out of bed, to clean up at the bedside. They said that was not, absolutely, I'm with you. I know it does. It costs a lot of money to be in one. And this one has a great reputation. If you look at the reviews by all the services, they have the same problems in Germany. The oh, I forgot what I was going to say, and it was important. Oh, when I couldn't get out of bed, I asked them if they would get me a basin with soapy water. They said no, that wasn't their job. I had to take care of my own JP drain. I had no way of cleansing. I asked Linda to bring me antiseptic wipes so that at least I could do something. She brought me wipes that were not antibiotic. Anti, oh, you know what I'm talking about. Antiseptic. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Often referred to as the sandwich generation. It was horrible. So it's more likely to get an infection. And my infection was a MRSA infection, basically. But it had Enterobacter and it had Enterococcus in there as well. It was bad. I was lucky that I had sent a photo of what was going on with my body, and my leg was bright red and hot all the way down my leg. It was moving farther and farther down my leg, and I sent pictures to my plastic surgeon's office because it was on a Friday, and I was fearful that the weekend was going to come and I wouldn't be able to access them and they would not see what was going on. If I had not sent those photos and the nurse had not shown it to him, and he looked at it and said, it is a nasty, nasty infection. And he said, I want you in the hospital today. Today. They wouldn't let me out of there. They kept me waiting for about 5 hours, 6 hours before they let me out of there. They said they couldn't let me out until the doctor signed me out. They couldn't do this. They couldn't. And I said, I have to go into the city. I have to be at the hospital. It was a nightmare. It was an absolute nightmare. I would not want to send my worst enemy to that place. What I started to say to you before is, if you look at the reviews of the place by the experts on a Friday afternoon, it just, it could have meant my life. It really could have meant my life. I was fighting for my life because I was needing to be my advocate. They didn't send me my ambulance because they didn't think that I needed an ambulance. Well, actually, my roommate, who had given me a hard time, those of you who've been with me through this whole course know that she was, oh yeah, that's really hard when you get to that point. Had to get doctor's orders for showers. Oh, yes, the nursing home does have, I think it's a Hoyer lift. I'm not sure if that's what it's called, but I think so. Yeah, it was a terrible, he paid out of pocket for 13 years. Oh, life is not easy. It's really not. And we go through these things. And the only reason I'm bringing this up again is because if anybody happens upon this, I know, I know, it really is horrible, the thought of it. The reason I'm talking about it, though, is not to belabor it, not to go over it again, not to relive it again. It's because someday somebody may come across this and they may need to hear it. And something, I need to do a dedicated video on this. I really do. Because I need people to know this. I need them to know that they must be an advocate, if they can be, for the people they care about. Exactly, infection is the highest cause of death. And the point is, when I knew that, now, what if I was non-compos mentis? What if I had an issue, with my mental capacity? Thank God I was conscious, and thank God that I knew what I was doing. Title the video with the information. Yeah. I am going to do a dedicated video, though, because I think it's important. And if we can save one person's life by letting them know, letting the people who care about them know that they cannot assume that the people that they care about are going to be taken care of. That's interesting. Now, that was a Freudian slip. Um, Population is aging and younger people aren't having as many kids. I know, you're right. You're right. It is very, very scary. Oh, oh, yeah. So I just feel as if be informed. Absolutely. Yeah, it was total negligence. And the infection, I mean, they told me I was really lucky when I got into the hospital because they also checked my blood to make sure that the infection had not hit my bloodstream, because that would have been really serious. Thank God they caught it before it hit the bloodstream. Thank God. Because as the nurse for my plastic surgeon said, yes, thank God she is a nurse. Absolutely. Um, yeah. Um, I was just thinking about David when I had called him, and I said, somebody needs to talk to the nursing. Yeah, and I understand. Oh, you are so right about that. The doctors on staff and they told me I had one of the best doctors there. I mean, that's terrifying. He kept saying to me, I am monitoring it. I said he was going to monitor it while I was headed for my grave, because I was getting worse and worse every single day. And when I got the fever and I got the shaking chills, I would drench the night, the nightgown, whatever the heck that thing is, that they had for me, and they would be angry that they had to come in and change it, as if I was doing it on purpose, as if I was wetting my bed. They were angry. So the whole thing was disgusting. They were not, I thought they were changing the bedding also. They weren't changing what you were sleeping on. They were only, and they weren't even changing the top of it. They were changing one small part of it. So the rest of it was not even clean. I mean, it was just not, I think people need to, I agree with you, Kathy. I am lucky to be alive. I am. Yeah. I'm lucky to be alive, and I'm lucky. I mean, listen, I had angels on my shoulder. I really do. Yeah. It is, it is, I mean, someone was watching over me. There's no question about it. But it was not, I had a couple of my wonderful friends on here contact me and offer to call the nurses station and everything because I just was getting absolutely nowhere. I was getting, and when somebody said to me, call the head nurse, well, that didn't work. When I called the head nurse, obviously her nursing staff had already told her that I was some kind of a pain because I actually wanted to be taken care of. I did have angels. Yes, I did have angels. No question about that. But again, I just think it's so important for people to know because what happens is you will hear about somebody who was in a nursing home. Yes, that's absolutely true, Kathy. And maybe all of this is part of the reason why, because I need to disseminate information. I need to make sure, and it did give me nightmares, but I need to make sure that other people can avoid this because they now know. I didn't know. I had no experience of it whatsoever. My grandfather had been in a nursing home when I was a little girl. I really had no great information. They do. You're absolutely right. They wear earplugs or virtual earplugs because they don't pay attention. They just don't. They don't want to. Their goal is to get through their shift, to take their breaks as, timely as they can, and to deal with as little as they have to between the hours of getting there and leaving. Now, on that note, I have to say, what could you do differently? What I could have done, well, for me, it would have been, I wouldn't have gone. That's what would have been different for me. They're so burned out, but they get people who are not as qualified. They really do. And they don't seem to stay all that long. It's really, I don't think that the one that I was in had a terrible smell. I don't recall that. But it was, the minute I got there, I wanted to leave because I felt like it was dirty. And it made me really nervous. Yeah, yes. And when you get septic, just check that message just went by. No, I wouldn't want to do the job either, in all fairness. But once you do the job, uh, once you do the job, I think you need to do the job. I don't think people take pride in their work anymore the way that they used to. They are getting right. So I'm sure it is not. And my brother used to say to me, just remember, a lot of these people are getting paid very poorly. The ones who are the CNAs, I guess, and they may have a lot of issues of their own, and all they want to do is they want to get finished with the job, be done with you, and go home, and that is the goal. So I get it, and I try to commiserate, but listen, you've got people here who are in jeopardy in so many ways. And what I started to say before was, how many times do people go into nursing homes and they die while they're in there, and people think they died from whatever brought them in there? But in many cases, I'd be willing to bet that it was accelerated by what was not done or by what happened while they were in there. It's just not good. Yeah. I had a couple of really good nurses, as I say, but even the good ones didn't have time to be good. So it was a it was a terrible experience. Given the knowledge that I have now, I would absolutely 100% choose to come home. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I wonder too, but I see it. I really see it. And I have to tell you, I shouldn't have gone into that place because when I read the reviews, at first my brother said to me, he said, "I don't understand it, Jerry. The reviews of the place are great." And I said, "Yeah, if you look at the professional reviews. Now go look at the reviews from people who were there or people who had relatives there. They were horrible. They were absolutely horrible. And they had the nerve to want me to say great things in a survey that they sent out afterwards. It was just it was just a nightmare experience. However, the no, I have to do that actually. I haven't really done it because I had so much going on in my life at that point that I was more concerned about that than anything having to do with them. Oh, your friend died 3 days later. Oh, yeah. I mean, there are terrible things that can happen, and it really is sad. But I think I'm off my soapbox now. But I really needed to do that. Yes, yes. Oh, absolutely. That is a gift if you can have somebody take care of you at home. Now, when I came home, I didn't have any of the normal services that were supposed to be available to me. I was supposed to get an aide. I didn't have an aide once, not one time, not for 1 hour. I did get physical therapy and occupational therapy for a little bit, and I had the visiting nurse because of the wound care. If it were not for the wound care, I wouldn't have had that either. But I am happy that I did get that. Yes, I have to find one of those. I was able to go home, Myra. I would have, I was not, there were things I was not able to do yet, and not straight from the hospital, no. From the hospital, the place, that's what I started to say before. The place that I went to right from the hospital was an acute in-hospital rehab, and it was at Glen Cove Hospital on Long Island, and it was fabulous. That place was incredible. The nurse who was there the day I was admitted, which was on a Saturday, said to me, "We are here to help you to get better. So anything you need, let us know. If you need anything at all, ring the bell." Yes, that would be very nice, but I think I'd rather go to Bloomingdale's. um, so Brooks Brothers. Yeah, but I think that it depends upon the place. If God forbid I ever had to be in a place like that again, I'd want to be at Glen Cove. They were absolutely wonderful. Everybody tried very hard. The doctors there, they just did everything in their power. They were constantly in touch with my medical team to check on things and what could be done. Yes, yes, it would be a good thing. It would be nice, but it would take somebody very special. And how many very special people are out there walking around just available? Probably not a lot of them. So I was at Glen Cove for 3 weeks. Unfortunately, they said I was doing too well and that they needed to get me out. They were pushing for me to leave. Well, listen, I mean, it might be good at Goodwill. Exactly, exactly. They don't take pride in what they do. They just don't. So, oh, honey, go sit. Go sit, little boy. You were out before. Mommy let you out just before. No. Get down. Get down. Get down. Get down. Good boy. We'll see how that lasts. It may and it may not. If he comes back here in a couple of minutes, I'm going to have to let him out, but I'm going to try not to do that because they were out just before. They were out just before I started. I purposely let them out so that I wouldn't have to deal with it. So I'm going to try not to and see if I can make it through. My nose is clogged all of a sudden. I'm feeling very, very nasal. Slap. Oh. It's just scary stuff. Yeah, it is. I'm sure it's hard to forgive and to forget. It's just a dreadful thing. I remember my mother saying that she prayed that she would never have to go into a nursing home, and thank God she never did. Um, yeah, I guess I never contemplated it. It just never even crossed my mind as a possibility. But then again, these terrible things that come up, I guess, don't cross most of our minds. If anybody had ever told me that I could get this dreaded disease, I would have said, not me, but it is what it is, you know. You're just one of those statistics. But I look how lucky I've been in so much of it with the team that I wound up with. And I just, that part of it is really good. So I'm hoping, I just hope and pray that it never comes back. I hate to even give voice to it because I don't want to contemplate it. For me, it's like, as I said to the doctor, I want it to be a one-time nightmare. It was hard enough to handle, so I just pray that that's the case and that I can go on to do whatever else that I can do in this life and make a difference maybe for somebody somewhere along the line. So that would be a great thing. So I think maybe it's a good idea that I did actually hang out today to wait for people to know I do not. And I am enormously grateful for that because no, 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 no. Yeah, that was terrible. I remember the day that I got home, how frightening it was. That would be a nightmare. But it was so much better being home, even when I could barely walk and I was afraid that I would fall. I needed to vent. I think I did, and I didn't even realize it. But again, I think it's about more than venting. I certainly is good to get it out, but the other side of the coin is there's somebody out there who's going to have to make a decision for themselves or for somebody else. I missed the end of that. Yes. Yeah. That walk-in tub thing does look very attractive to me right about now. So, yeah, just to make life as easy as possible. And the things that you think will never happen to you, surprise, surprise. There's more room on the outside than the inside. I don't know if I missed something leading up to that. I'm not sure. I don't know. Oh, I called my hairstylist today because I decided it was time for a haircut. Thanks, Jody. I called my, yeah, it's true. Anyway, I called and I said, does Tracy have any time to give me a haircut today? And she said, well, she's away until next week. I said, so I guess you're telling me she doesn't have time to do a haircut today. So I am going to, I'm doing a Benjamin Button. I'm going the other way. I'm going to go next Friday, right after my physical therapy. I'm going to get a haircut. So a lot of you will be happy to hear that, and hopefully it'll come out as nice as it always does when she does it. Although I must say that she does it beautifully, but when it's combed out, I usually do a better job on the comb out after that initial one that she does, because my hair looks sort of flat and skinny hair, wimpy hair, when she does it, but she gives me a really nice cut. So I'm looking forward to that. So that'll be next Friday. And my calendar is filling up. I'm seeing the lymphedema specialist on the 17th. And would you believe yeah, I do like it, Myra. I just lost it again. I must be tired. I said, would you believe? I don't remember. I just don't remember. So I may look like I'm going back in time, but I'm losing my marbles. So that's a little bit scary. It went through? What went through? I'm totally losing it here. The lymphedema. Yeah, I mean, he told me that my leg was not that swollen, although I felt like it was more swollen after he worked on it today. So I'm not sure. And he said to me, they may just want you to wear the stocking. And I wanted to say, how do I get the stocking on though? Oh no, it didn't go through. I can't get my regular knee highs on. I was talking about lymphedema. Nothing, just that I have that I have a lot going on next week. I have a lot of things already scheduled, and I've got to fit in my dating there somewhere. So I have to allow some time for some of that. Good night, sis. Take care. It was great having you with me tonight. Okay, on that note, I think it's time probably to end this, and I'm really glad that it did resolve itself. You have to break up your story? Well, you can tell me the rest of it. I'll wait. Yeah, I want to go to that restaurant. You're going to email it? Okay, great. All right, so take care, everybody. Have a great night. I'm going to try to have a restful night. I love you too. And I'm just so lucky to have you all with me on this journey. So take care, and I will see you soon. Hopefully.